In a previous lesson, we looked at how the TypeScript esModuleInterop option makes your TypeScript modules consistent with how ES modules are supported in Node.js. Today, we will look at why this option is actually required for certain modules found on NPM. Let's go. If you look at the import section of the ECMAScript module specification, you will find mentioned the imported default binding as well as the namespace import. Further in the specification, it mentions that the module namespace object must be an object. And even though JavaScript functions are objects in the object-oriented sense, they are not objects in terms of JavaScript type-of. So if all that you are doing is using the import as an object whose properties you will use to access the module's exports, it really doesn't matter if you use namespace import or the default import. However, there are a large number of NPM modules, for example the ever popular Express framework, whose export is something that is callable, that is, it is a function. Now Express also provides a number of other exports, for example the router, which you can access from the namespace export or the default export, because as far as the members of these exports are concerned, they are both equivalent. However, because of the restriction that we saw where a namespace export must be an object, you are not allowed to call the namespace import. However, you can call the default export as it can be any variable. So in order to use a module like Express that provides a callable export, you have to use the default import syntax. And these synthetically created default exports are what is created by the esModuleInterop option in the TypeScript tsconfig. If we set it to false, these default exports no longer appear. And so we set the esModuleInterop option to true in order to get this default export, which is what we need in order to use a module like Express effectively. And because certain modules like Express only work with the default import, it is conventional to use the default import syntax for any modules that were authored before the ECMAScript module specification. As a final note, new projects being authored with TypeScript and TypeScript type definitions don't normally need this option because they do not export something that is callable at the root. However, for the vast majority of various popular JavaScript frameworks that were written before ES modules, you will need this option, and it's good that it's true by default. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Till next time, take care.